Hello and welcome to Winchester Now, our weekly roundup of some of the news stories across our city this week. I'm Mary Blaxland. On our programme today, we hear about a new initiative to help our mental health, how old bikes have helped raise thousands of pounds for a Winchester charity, and we were at the Cathedral on Tuesday as rain didn't stop the Pancake Day fun. Winchester Radio. Churches across Winchester have come together to help the mental health of our city. A new wellbeing cafe has started in response to a growing problem, and this week was given a City Council grant to support its work. It takes place at the Salvation Army Hall in Parchment Street each Thursday afternoon. And I spoke to Alison Dolphin, Community Mental Health Chaplain with the NHS, who started the initiative.
I am a mental health chaplain, so mental health is very important to me, and I have run another cafe in Romsey for a number of years and seen just how important it is to everybody. Even during COVID, we kept going, and when we absolutely had to shut, I saw that people were keen to meet in their homes, and just of what value the service is seen as a place to come and connect. I felt as a person who worships and is a Christian in Winchester, I would love to establish something similar in this area.
How much of a need do you think there is in this area?
I think there's a huge need, actually. Even before COVID, 1 in 4 people were recognised to struggle to one degree or another with their mental health. And since COVID and lockdown, it's been known that anxiety and mental health have only got worse. So there is something of a tsunami of mental health issues, really. And Winchester is part of that. It's a UK problem. We all have mental health struggles. We all have mental health. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. There's particularly vulnerable areas of Winchester, and that means people struggling with things like depression and anxiety, isolation, loneliness, and so on.
And what can people expect if they come here on a Thursday?
Okay, so we have started what we call a Renew Cafe, and a Renew Cafe is run according to the template of the UK charity called Renew Wellbeing, and they have established many hundreds of these cafes up and down the country. Their values are based on having 3 elements comprised within the cafe, and they are presence, and this means that we are present to one another. We meet in a room where we have some social space together with one another. It's a cafe style format. It's an inclusive place where everybody is welcome of whatever demographic or state of well-being or crises they might find themselves in, and we come alongside one another and practice our well-being together. There's no us and them. We are all there to enjoy board games, crafts, conversation, and be there enjoying one another's company and combating isolation. The second P is prayer. So we are a church-based initiative, and we have either an adjoining room or, in our case, a prayer corner whereby there is a prayer rhythm offered at the end of the session that people are welcome to go and join in or not as they wish. People can say a word or a sentence or sit there silently, and it's also a place that anybody can go to just to sit in quiet and tranquility and peace throughout the session if they're feeling overwhelmed. And then the third P that's important is the word partnership. We recognise that the NHS and other services are inundated with need, and we want to see ourselves as the soft end of provision to help people enjoy better mental health and well-being. We want to say that we are not there to fix people or to make them better, and if people need more support than we can give them, then we can refer them to agencies and organisations such as Solent Mind, which are on the same street as us, on Parchment Street, such as the NHS, Avalon House, such as Citizens Advice, Help with Debt, and all sorts of things. And then conversely, since we are operating according to safe procedures and a recognised charity and trained volunteers, people would have trust to refer individuals they are supporting with their mental health to us as a place to go in the week, a place to socialise, an activity to come to, grow confidence confidence, make friends, reduce isolation.
And what have people said to you so far about having this available to them, and what do they get out of coming here?
This is only our third week of meeting, but I've already asked one person who came last week, what is it that brings you to this cafe? And she says that it stops me being at home with my thoughts spiralling. It gives me warmth and connection with other human beings when all there is emptiness at home. So I've had that feedback, and I've had feedback from a number of others who said what a warm welcome they got when they came through the door. It's not that everybody would meet and greet, but it's a place where they felt that it was very natural and friendly and safe and invitational. So early days, but we've had some positive response so far.
Those are lovely comments to receive. You must be very proud of what you've set up here. And if someone's listening to this and thinks, I could benefit from coming, how do they find out more?
Well, we have set up a Facebook page. We have printed 500 leaflets, and we've got them out to many, many agencies, organisations, and of course the churches. With some Winchester City Council grant money that we were awarded yesterday, we will be printing many more and really getting the word out there. In addition, street pastors, the social prescribers are working on our behalf, and it will take some time, but little bit by little bit the word will get out, and we hope that those who do come will then tell their friends, and there will be a kind of ripple type of effect, and people will get to hear about us.
And it's every Thursday, isn't it?
That's right, starting off as one session per week, but we hope very much that we will increase it to another session, and eventually we've got big hopes that we might be able to make some kind of city hub where we would be able to have activities that are complementary to what we're doing based around us, and that we would be able to bridge to what other organisations are doing for wellbeing. So it's our very great hope to turn what is starting as a cafe, very soon we would be able to see it growing to be another time in the week, another place in the week, eventually into something that might be considered to be a hub. We've made a start with Thursday afternoons, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and it is a drop-in session. Some people come and they go, some people might want to stay for the full 2 hours. It depends on their time.
Alison Dolphin talking to us about the Renew Wellbeing Cafe in Winchester.
Now for some of the news stories from around our city this week, I'm Ron Venturi. Southern Water has acknowledged that data belonging to some customers has been stolen in a cyber attack. It's believed around 5 to 10% of customers have been impacted, and the company says it has contacted those affected, including a number in the Winchester area. Southern Water has apologised and says it has contacted regulators and is working with cyber security experts. A former mayor of Winchester is to face trial following allegations that he sexually assaulted a teenage girl during a fireworks display which he attended as an official guest. It's claimed that Derek Green touched the 16-year-old girl inappropriately over her clothing at the Winchester Bonfire and Fireworks event in November 2022. The 67-year-old of Battery Hill pleaded not guilty when he appeared at Bristol Crown Court on Wednesday. He was released on unconditional bail, and the trial will take place in March next year. A showcase of local music is taking place at the Arc on Saturday, and it's free to attend. It's to launch Sound Winchester, a new community initiative set up to celebrate the range of musical talent in our city and to provide opportunities for residents to try something new. The event will run from 9:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon, with demonstrations, performances and workshops featuring music as well as poetry and dance. The launch is part of the build-up for the first Winchester Community Music Festival, which takes place on the 21st of June.
A small group of volunteers have raised £50,000 for charity in a project that started just over 2 years ago. The Recycle Bike Hub is based at Winnell, and volunteers rebuild and repair bikes to sell. The mission is to stop bikes going to landfill and make cycles more affordable, and all the money raised is going to Naomi House Hospice. Richard Hollingdale is co-founder of the group.
We get donated bikes, so people give us a bike free of charge. We then have a team of mechanics. We started off with 2.5 years ago. We're now up to 11. We fully service the bike in our workshop, which is in Winnell. That gets signed off by a fully qualified bike mechanic, and we have 2 of those within our team. And then we sell those bikes through a couple of the Naomi House shops. And we've also even now sold them at a couple of the markets in Winchester. So people can buy a bike about roughly a third of the price of an equivalent bike in a high street shop. And then 100% of that money for the sale goes to Naomi House.
And you started 2.5 years ago. How's it been going? What have you raised so far?
Yeah, we started 2.5 years ago, just 2 of us. In that time, we've sold now 600 bikes, and that should be approximately £50,000 for Naomi House.
You must be very proud of what you've achieved.
Really pleased to have 2 objectives of getting more people cycling, which is great for Winchester and Hampshire and the people themselves, but yeah, raised £50,000 on top of that, probably more than I could have hoped for.
And are there a lot of bikes coming forward? Are you still getting a lot of bikes?
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many bikes are tucked away in people's garages, really. Every year there's about 2.5 to 3 million bikes purchased in the UK, so that's a lot of bikes, and a lot of those are just sitting in the garages. And once people learn about the projects, we get swamped by bikes. So bikes is not a problem for us. It's how fast we can turn them around and get them repaired.
And of course it can be expensive, can't it, to buy a bike, particularly if you've got a family, and cycling is so popular at the moment. That must really help with the cost of living, what you're doing.
It does. Yeah, it is quite expensive. If you think about, if you go to look for a bike for a teenager, that's £200 to £300 for a bike. Even a small first bike is around £100, £125. Well, with the bikes that we're selling, the average price is about a third of what you're going to pay in the high street. And we replace any damaged, frayed, broken parts. We fully replace and perish tyres. So you know you're getting a bike that's fully signed off and ready to ride.
Like you say, you've got qualified people doing this.
Yeah, we've got 2 guys who are fully qualified bike mechanics, and that's industry qualifications, and that's part of the commitment we gave and the insurance we can give, that everything is checked and double checked by a qualified mechanic. So again, much safer to buy a bike through the Recycle Bike Hub than it is to say just go on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, where you don't know what the quality of the bike. Out of the 600 bike, we're proud to say we've only ever had one problem, and that was something we couldn't detect where there was a fault in the metal. So to have no one come back with a faulty bike is brilliant.
So people are getting a good bike at a good cost, but they're also doing good as well, aren't they?
They are. We all know cycling's good for people, but also every penny they give us for that bike goes to Naomi House, which is a great cause, and you know, their charity, the same as everyone else, needs more money to keep them going with inflation the way it is. So yeah, it's a win-win for most people.
And you say every penny goes to Naomi House, and that's because you've got a lot of local businesses helping you, buying the products that you need as well for the repairs.
Yeah, obviously one of the things we do, we fully repair bikes, so we have to buy spare parts, whether that's new tyres, worn chains, brake cables, and we've been really lucky. We go out and we've used our own contacts from local businesses or local community organisations such as the Rotary Club, and they've given us financial donations which have allowed us to buy all the spare parts. So there is no cost to the bike, because obviously as all 11 of us are volunteers, so there's no labour cost. Our workshop is located in a warehouse that already exists with Naomi House, so there's no rent cost, and all the spare parts are covered. So yeah, 100% of the money you pay for one of our bikes goes to Naomi House.
And what do you see for the future of the project?
Well, keep selling more bikes. We're going to go online because we keep getting more people asking us, can they look and see the bikes? So we're going to go online and just keep growing. We're going to get more volunteers in because we keep getting approached, and then that would just expand the number of bikes. So 100,000 is the next target we're going to be aiming for, so we're just going to keep going.
And are you looking for more people to get involved?
We are. We've grown from 2 to 11 volunteers, but yeah, always looking for volunteers. And all a volunteer for us is a mindset that they're happy to play with a bike. They don't need to be a qualified mechanic. They can just know how to adjust gears and brakes on their own bike, and that's it. And we'd love a bit of diversity. Being based in Winchester, we've got a lot of retired men, so anyone who's younger, not retired, or female, or even students from college who want to just spend an afternoon working, that would be brilliant.
And how can people find out more? If someone's looking for a bike today, how do they find out more?
The easiest thing to do will be to go and search online at the recyclebikehub.com, so nice and easy to remember. And you can email me, I am the hello@recyclebikehub.com. We do some Winchester markets, so keep an eye out on the vintage market the first Sunday of every month. And the 2 main shops that we sell at the moment, we've got one in Portsmouth and one in Basingstoke. And then we're just working out what we can do in Winchester to have a permanent residency here. But the best thing to do, go online and contact us at Recycle Bike Hub.
Now more stories from our city. Garnier Road in Winchester has reopened to cars after nearly a year. Hampshire County Council has completed work on the Tun Bridge, which spans the Itchen Navigation. A £1.4 million scheme to upgrade the 100-year-old bridge began in March last year, but the reopening was delayed by 3 months because of the decay to the structure. The authority has thanked the public for their patience during the construction work. Meanwhile, a nearby footpath and cycleway will be closed for 5 weeks from Tuesday. The popular Itchen Navigation Path will be shut between Garnier Road and the Hockley Viaduct for essential tree works, including removing dead and unstable trees affected by ash dieback. The work will take place on weekdays between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. And on Sunday, it's the return of the Winchester 10K. The run starts from the Broadway at 8:30 a.m, then heads up through the city centre and out towards Kingsworthy and Headbourneworthy before finishing at North Walls Park. Several roads will be closed and diversions in place, and they'll reopen around 10:15. The Winchester 10K originated in 1983, and around 2,000 runners are expected to take part in the race this year.
Hi, it's time for the shout-outs here on Winchester Now, and it's a happy 40th birthday, first of all, to Brendan Care. The local charity operates 7 care homes across the south of England and provides clubs, support and community services for older people. A number of parties are being held and a time capsule is being created with photographs, stories and poems. Brendan Care is also releasing a cover version of Stevie Wonder's classic song, I Just Called to Say I Love You. The video and recording was made by residents, colleagues, volunteers and club members. The local Catholic parish of St Peter and the Winchester Martyrs had a fundraising Sunday earlier this month and have announced that it made more than £700. The money was raised from the sale of butties and other refreshments after their services. Well done to all involved. The money will be used for the church's Family Fridays initiative, which helps support families in financial need. A chance to give a shout out now to our volunteers at Winchester Radio, as Tuesday marked World Radio Day. A special mention to our ward visitors Val and Jeremy, who collect requests from patients at the Royal Hampshire County Hospital. World Radio Day celebrates the unique power of radio and the crucial role it's played for over a century. And congratulations to Winchester Rotary for all their hard work in organising this year's Pancake races outside of the Cathedral. 42 teams took part in the annual event and more than £2,000 was raised for this year's charity, which was Winchester Hospice. More action coming up from the Pancake races with Mary in just a moment. And finally, congratulations to all those couples who tied the knot this Valentine's Day. Hampshire registrars Jackie and Debbie conducted 14 marriage ceremonies on the 14th, and 17 couples will be saying I do for the extra special 29th of February in this leap year. I'm Paul Blitz, and we'll have more shout-outs for you next week.
Winchester Radio.
Many thanks, Paul, and as he mentioned, Shrove Tuesday saw the annual Pancake races outside the Cathedral, but the day also brought torrential rain. But that didn't put off the competitors and the crowds who came to watch. I went along for Winchester Radio.
On your mark, get set, go!
The rain brought a few challenges to this year's races. Soggy pancakes stuck to the pans, making flipping difficult. And so for the first time, competitors were allowed to turn their pancake by hand.
It's neck and neck at halfway! Round they go!
But the teams were undeterred by the weather. There were local businesses, charities and community groups, supermarkets, solicitors, estate agents, schools, the army and more. Some came in fancy dress and names were important too. Batter Run Faster and Crepe Expectations among my favourites.
Firstly, tell me where you're all from.
So we work at Christ Church Winchester, which is a big church just up the road.
And tell me a bit about the costumes that you're wearing.
So we're dressed as angels because, you know, church and the Bible. We've got our halos on and our little white gowns, so hopefully we look good enough to win.
And how are you feeling about the races?
The weather is definitely making us a bit apprehensive, but we've put in extensive practice, so we're excited. We're going to have a great time. The weather can't put us off, so that's good.
Are you going to be celebrating with pancakes later?
I've just bought 90 pancakes from Sainsbury's, so I'm ready.
And what's the favourite pancake? What are you going to have on the topping?
I'm a classic lemon and sugar kind of gal.
Oh, but I like cinnamon.
Yay, well done. Thank you very much. guys, and well done.
Where are you from?
The Winchester Royal Hotel.
Tell me a bit about the costume you've all got on today.
Well, because it's the Winchester Royal, we've gone for the royalty theme, so we've got crowns and the old royal capes on.
And how are you feeling about the racing?
Racing good, weather not so good.
Have you done this before?
No, this is the first time. It's just something nice to do, get out into the community and things like that.
What's your favourite pancake?
I'm a savoury pancake person myself, so I like it with tuna and sweet corn with a bit of tomato in.
So you'll be having that tonight?
Yes, I will, yes.
Enjoy the races.
Thank you.
Without further ado, on your mark, get set, flip!
I'm Pro Vice Chancellor at the University of Winchester. So we're loving being out today. It might be a little bit wet, but we're down here, a team of 4 of us, to do our bit for the Winchester Hospice.
Have you done this race before?
This is my first time. I've seen it before, I've heard it before, and delighted to be here today.
How do you think you're going to do?
I mean, I wouldn't put any money on us, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun and, do a good thing while we're doing it.
And for you, the favourite pancake? What's your choice?
I quite like fluffy American pancakes, with a bit of bacon, maple syrup, yogurt, yeah.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thanks.
The event was first held in 2019 and is organised by Winchester Rotary.
Hi, I'm Les Haswell and I'm the president of Winchester Rotary.
Why is it so important to have this event every year?
I think it's important because it does 2 or 3 different things. One is it lets everybody see what Rotary is about and the fact that we can come down here on a day like this and get involved in an event that is absolutely brilliant fun. The noise and the activity level is unbelievable, and despite the fact that it's raining, everybody seems to be thoroughly enjoying themselves. It also gives us as a club the opportunity to raise funds for another local charity, which in this year is the Winchester Hospice. That's why it's important to me.
It must take a lot of organisation each year.
Oh, phenomenal amount. Yeah, we start fairly early, and with about 2 or 3 weeks to go, we all sit eating our fingernails, wondering if anybody's going to register, and then all of a sudden, just at the last minute, it happens. That's almost traditional.
And like you say, it's great fun, isn't it? Everyone seems to just get involved and really enjoy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You see all sorts of weird and wonderful people that come out here and they dress in weird and wonderful clothing and they race up and down there flipping a pancake, and you just cannot imagine that these are probably fairly staid individuals who work in offices and shops and whatnot and look totally normal apart from one day a week, which is when they come down here.
And it does get the community together, like you say, because we've got businesses, we've got the university, we've got schools, we've got everyone's here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had one race there where we had 2 of the biggest estate agents in the town, another one with 2 of the builders, another one with both Sainsbury's and Tesco's. As you say, it brings everybody together.
I'm Rowley Ream, I'm the Vice Dean of the Cathedral.
Why is it so important for the Cathedral to host this each year?
Well, I think it's a lovely way of marking just our getting to Lent, and I think it's a great way of entering into a community spirit and having a charitable activity and having a lot of fun together, because we belong to the binding together of the community of Winchester.
And it always is fun, isn't it? Everyone seems to enjoy it, despite the weather.
Yes, well, there might be a slight dampener to things today, but I've noticed a few lovely costumes which will cheer us all up.
A number of heats were held, teams of 4 running in relay, with each member having to flip their pancake at designated places along the 38-metre stretch outside the front of the cathedral, cheered on by supporters. There were prizes for the best fancy dress.
We're Winchester Roundtable. It's a local charity group. We do the bonfire every year, and we were asked to come today to get involved in some pancake flipping. And we didn't win the pancakes, but we did win best dressed.
Tell me what you're dressed as.
I am dressed as an elephant. We have another elephant, Tigger the tiger, and a crocodile/dinosaur.
And why did you want to get involved in this event?
I live in Winchester. I love Winchester. If I can dress up silly and flip some pancakes and raise some money for charity, that's really what it's all about on a rainy Tuesday. Everybody's really putting in effort, and yeah, it's just been great. I'm definitely going to come next year.
This is it. This is what we've all been here for. This is the final.
And in the final race, the Winchester Royal Hotel narrowly pipped Carter Jonas to the finish line.
How are you feeling about winning?
Yeah, really good, nice. I'm happy. We are happy.
What's the secret to your success?
Well, not thinking, just deep breathing, just run as fast as you can. I run like if I was running late for a shift, and I imagine my boss being angry with me, so I just run a lot.
How are you going to celebrate with pancakes tonight?
Well, pancakes, I'm not going to lie, possibly a cheeky pint, and, happy to win. My favorite
celebration.
Thank you so much.
A fun time and a great amount raised for Winchester Hospice. And well done to all those who took part. That's all for this week's Winchester Now. Many thanks to Paul and Ron and to you for listening. Goodbye until next week.
You've been listening to Winchester Now. We hope you've enjoyed this weekly programme from Winchester Radio. If you have a story to share with us, please let us know. You can drop us an email. We're news@winchester.radio. And you can follow us on social media platforms. Just search for Winchester Radio.
Winchester Radio.